Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook platforms, I am T. Clay, and we're in the book of Enoch, chapter 60. Let us pray. O most Holy Spirit that moved upon the water according to Genesis chapter 1, we thank you for all that you've done. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your favor. We thank you for even the word that we're about to receive today, even the words that we've received throughout all our existence, the word that you have commanded and that you have showed us your statutes and commandments. And we don't need to be shown the way. All we have to do is walk in the way. We ask you to give us that mind to walk in the way that you have prescribed for us, that we might be pleasing unto you, that we might be one that you would smile upon, one that you cause to even rise up and be counted among his brethren, even to help those who are walking in darkness. Those who choose to walk in darkness is because they're vessels of dishonor. But most holy Sanini Nainini, we ask you to deal with our families, our nations, our governments. They have gone astray after the way of Cain. Their praise is that of materialism, and their way is that of violence. Yes, we even pray for the Congo, whose government is allowing its people to be deleted left and right because of the greed of other nations and because their own greed. Oh, most holy Sanini Nainini, we ask you to deal, even Tata and Zambi, deal in the Congo. Why should a woman or a man lose his whole family when he had done nothing to anyone? When he had done nothing but just farm and all these things, because we have cell phones and we have these electronic devices, and some of us we do it for our own medical equipment and all these other things. But yet they see a free opportunity to get resources of those that you have given these things to freely. Not them, but they. And help the people to understand they must stand in the land. They must take a stance and stop running and fight those who are fighting them on behalf of those who are paying them to do such hideous things. Yes, until the time comes where there rise a president, there rise a political system in that land that will stand up against the monsters of progress for Africa. And we thank you for these things. Yes. We're in I keep saying Jubilees. The book of Enoch, chapter 60. I'm T. Clay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And this is a fragment of the book of Noah. You have to realize Noah was the book that was taken out of the Dead Sea, or the Dead Sea Scrolls. Some of it was tattered. Some of it was, just rotten. You know how an old book gets sometimes. It just falls apart. But we're in verse 1. And in the 500 years, in the 7th month, in the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch, in the visions I saw how a mighty quaking made the heavens of heavens to quake, and all the host of the Most High and the angels, 1,000 thousands and 10,000s times 10,000s, were disquieted with great disquiet. In other words, they were alarmed. And the head of days, should I say, whom now is the Savior, sat on the throne of his glory. Now, these are things that he see future. God have given him a throne that he might execute judgment, because Most High, he does delegate authority. Now, because if you were the Most High, why should you even do the work when you can get others to do the work for you? Why should you see everything, you know everything. You know what work is going to take to get certain entities down the line to get in line with your plan. Certain men and women to get in line with the plan that you have. So even the military and different schools, they would direct one to a certain point in time and in learning and in curriculum to get them to be that person whom they seem to have that potential of being. to the glory, to your glory, and not only that, the glory of your purpose. Now, he says now, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. They didn't fall down and worship him. No. Come on here. It's not God. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave away. In other words, he was fearful. Dissolved were my reins, and I fell upon my face. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, the ones who obey God, the righteous ones. Holy only means to obey. You are holy when you before God. I ain't saying before man. We don't seek honor that comes from man. We don't seek his attitude or whatever. We don't even seek his favor. Now he's saying, and Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned. In other words, have you ever been somewhere you felt like you were so hungry or something that so devastated you feel like it's drained? All in you is drained, but you have your strength, but you're just drained. This is the way he must have felt. Now, when he raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host and the commotion and the quaking of the heaven. There's something going on here, is what he's saying. There's something going on. And verse 9, Michael said unto me, why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his mercy. And he hath been merciful and long-suffering to those who dwell on earth. Oh, my. God has been merciful, even in the things, in the turmoil, in the things that we have, not only in that day, but this day too. The mercy that he could have wiped all mankind out. Yes, but he has a purpose and a plan for a certain people, a certain few. Yes, that's why he calls them elect. The rest, some of you say, well, he don't care about, he cares about you because you can forsake your way and turn to righteousness and turn to the way even of the Most High and his laws, statutes, and commandments, which he have delivered even unto Jacob. And stop walking in your pride of your color and your pride of your heritage and your pride of you should be better than they. This is nothing but the doctrines and the feelings of devils that they put in your heart. That they put in your heart. Now, until this day lasted until the day of his mercy. He has been merciful and long-suffering toward you, earth. He has been merciful and long-suffering toward from South America to North America, from South Africa to North Africa, even all over in Europe and Russia and Asia. He has been merciful to this day. Oh, but we're done. The collapse is about to happen. But anyway, I digress. Verse 10, and the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment has come, for which the Father's spirits have prepared for those who worship not the righteous law. How do you worship the righteous law? The righteous law is worshiped by what? Because God, he says, my word, I'm not talking about Isis. They took the words of God and put them in the words of Isis. God says his words are spirit and they are life. What is his words? Even though nothing but the commandments, statutes, and his judgments, even his law. And this law is right because he that gives this law is right and fair. If one would get into themselves and really look at the law of the Most High, it is fair. Now, those things you can't understand about the sacrifices and all, they are fair because of your sin and Adam's sin, or whom we call Adam. Verse 11, for those who deny the righteous judgment and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared. Take his name, and that was the first commandment. These are the laws. They knew this. They knew who God was. They knew who Tata Nzambi was. But they took his name in vain anyway. For the elect, a covenant, but for sinners, an inquisition. In other words, an inquisition is one where if you don't fall in line, you're going to be deleted, tortured and deleted. And this is what's going to happen. Oh, God's not fair. Or is God not fair or you not fair? Is God's way not right or your way not right? Who's the most powerful? Who's the most fair? Are you or God? All right. Now, when the punishment of the Father of spirits shall rest upon them, it shall rest in order that the punishment of the Father of spirits may not come in vain. It shall slay the children with their mothers and the children with their fathers. See, God has no respect of persons, from the young to the old. Once a baby receives the law from its mother or its father, it falls under judgment. That's why he say, children, obey your parents, that your days may be long upon this earth. Afterwards, the judgment shall take place according to his mercy and his patience. And on that day, let me put another thing in there. And that's why when your children, in their ignorance, decide they do not want to obey your rules and your constitution of your home, it's time to put down some type of punishment, some type of correction that they might fear. This is not only that they may fear to do what you have said, but to do what God has said as they grow. Because when we obey God's law, we obey the law of the land anyway. It's just automatic. Unless you're one that are deceitful religiously. And he says that the mothers and the children with their fathers, in verse 14, he says, afterwards the judgment shall take place according to his mercy and his patience. See, God has been much patience with us here on earth. He's been much patience with the U.S. and its warmongering. He's been patience with with that other country they call them folk. We say that. He's been patient with them and their warmongering and their trickery and their deceit. He's been patient with all the Arab lands and all the African lands that they have caused themselves because of the greed to go against their brothers and kill, steal, and destroy, because they think that they get that little money from the oppressor and it's good. Yes, his patience is running out. Time is up. And you are going to suffer. I don't care whether you're black African or black American or white American or Asian or whatever. It doesn't matter. God's patience is running out with you. Whether you Mongolian or whatever have you are, his patience is running out. His cup is almost full. It's about to run over. And when it does, he's going to pour it out, even to the last little bit of it. Yes. He says, verse 15, and on that day were two breasts parted, two beasts parted. A female beast named Leviathan to dwell in the abyss of the ocean over the fountains of water. These are symbolic. But the male is named Behemoth, who occupies with his breast a waste wilderness named Duodaim. And on the east of the garden, where the elect and righteous dwell, where my grandfather was taken up. He's talking about Enoch. This is what Noah is saying. From Adam, and first man from the Father of spirits created. And I besought the other angel, and he should show me the might of those monsters, how they were parted on one day and cast out, the one into the abyss of the sea and the other unto the dry land of the wilderness. Now these monsters, they're very fearful. They're so fearful it caused Noah to even dread. And he said to me, thou son of man, herein thou dost seek to know what is hidden. And the other angel who went with me and showed me what was hidden told me what is first and last in heaven in the height. And beneath the earth in the depth at the ends of the heaven and on the fountain of the heaven and the chambers of the wind, and how the winds are divided and how they are weighed, and how the portals or the holes in the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind. and the power of the lights and of the moon, and according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided. And the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their hosts may at once obey. For the thunder has places of rest, which are the sign while it is waiting for its peal. And the thunder and lightning are inseparable. Although not one and undivided, they both go together. In other words, where there's thunder, there's lightning. Let's get this right. And separate not. Now he says, when the lightning lightens and the thunder utters its voice, the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal or appeal, and divides equally between them. And the treasury of their peals is like the sand, which each one of them, as it peals, is held with a bridle and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and put forward according to the many quarters of the earth. Okay, this is the way of lightning and thunder. Verse 28, and the spirit of the sea is strong according to the might and strength. He draws it back with a rain. And in like manner is driven forward and disperses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost, now it's an English word, a Nordic word, hoarfrost, in his own angel. And the spirit of the hail is a good angel. And the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. And there's a special spirit therein. Now you have to realize these things announce they're coming, else you cannot forecast when they're coming. You get the forecasters and everything, they can forecast the conditions that are right for these things to happen. Okay? And there's a special spirit therein, that which ascends from it is like smoke. Its name is frost. Now he's talking something here. And the spirit in the midst is not united with them in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is glorious, both in the light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer, and its chamber is an angel. In other words, he said these things are controlled by spirits. They announce their coming by the conditions that we understand today. Okay, verse 33, and the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the ends of the heaven, and it is connected with the chambers of the rain. It is the course, it is in winter and summer, and it's called clouds, and the clouds of the mist are connected. It's announcing it's coming, and one gives to the other. And when the spirit of the rain goes forth from its chamber, the angels come and open the chamber and lead it out. Now, when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water of the earth. And the waters are for those who dwell on the earth, and they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High who is in heaven. Yes, all bless the name of the Most High. Therefore, there is a measure for the rain, and the angels take it in charge. And these things I saw towards the garden of the righteous. And the angel of peace who was with me said, these two beasts are prepared toward the greatness of God, shall feed. That is their purpose. They are prepared toward the greatness of the Father of spirits, and they shall feed upon the earth. And this thing is happening even this day, even the souls of men, the minds and souls of men, the calamities that we hear in the earth and in the ocean and in the seas and all these things that happen. And when they're finally let loose, these things are going to occur even in a most vehement way. And we will wonder what is happening. But with that, as I've read, it's a most dreadful day, even that great and notable day of the Father of spirits. And with that, I'm going to say, peace.